Koi, Fee Jamieson-Folland, the Lifestyle Aligner, helping you live the life you love. And to do that today, we're going to be talking about what are the factors that are going to affect our heart health, especially for women in this year that's coming up for us. So as we sit in January, as I record this audio, and so this is a really important area that I've certainly found for myself, having received the diagnosis that I did of 3 years to live on aseptic medication every day, forever and ever, because of the extent of cardiovascular disease that it looked like I had inherited when my dad died back when I was 21. All those couple of years ago now, a little bit more than that. And these 5, I'm going to cover 5 ways, and look to the blog because it's extensive this week. We really dive deep into how these can actually, the mechanism, the ways in which these 5 factors actually impact our health. So the first one that we'll talk about is the impact of chronic stress. So emotional stress and attempting to strike that work-life balance. And there's so much information, I'm going to need to refer to my notes here. And like I say, if you are interested in this topic, I really recommend that you invest the 5 minutes or less, 3 minutes to read the blog. There's a lot of info in it. So for many of us as women, we're juggling multiple roles, and it can be super challenging to find a way to segue between roles and have some semblance of balance. What it's been found to have in terms of its impact on our bodies is actually raising cortisol, raising blood pressure, inflammation, contributing to inflammation. And in particular for me, something that I've found is that I found that my cholesterol levels reduced when I adjusted my diet and my lifestyle. And I could see a direct correlation between levels of stress in my life and an increase in my cholesterol level, which was fascinating for me, and seemed to raise some eyebrows from my doctor. And for many of us as women, we internalize that stress. So ways to help us reduce that emotional stress, the impacts of that emotional stress, is setting boundaries, being really clear about what's okay for us to be doing and not what it's not, and practicing mindfulness, so allowing ourselves that space to step back, and delegating. So to a certain extent, it's around practicing those healthy boundaries. The second one that tops the charts is financial stress and the way that that can impact us, and in similar ways, increasing blood pressure and increasing the incidence of heart attacks for those women who feel like they're under financial pressure. It's been found out afterwards. And things like exercise, diet, ways that we can nourish ourselves is so vital. Even more so at times when there's any form of stress, but financial is one of them. So budgeting can really help. Getting some help, so counselling, some thoughts from somebody who's had more experience with similar challenges, and mindful spending. So it might be that maybe I know this has really helped me, is that do I need that right now? Maybe not. The third one is the impact of caregiving stress, which is understandable. Again, it's that challenge of actually finding space for ourselves, especially when we're giving out so much, which can often be an assumptive role for women. Taking breaks, ways to help ourselves, support groups, being able to talk to others who are in a similar situation, and delegating. So that's that delegation, so useful. Number 4, in terms of factors that can impact our heart health, relationship stress. So sure, they can be a source of joy, our relationships, they can also be a source of enormous stress when communication isn't so clear. So unresolved emotional stress can mean that we're in that constant fight-flight state. So we're triggering and living in our sympathetic area, fight-flight of our autonomic or automatic nervous system, as opposed to our parasympathetics, where we are resting, digesting, and healing, the opposites, if you like. So ways that we can help ourselves: open communication, keeping it open, even if it's not to necessarily get things all sorted immediately, being able to talk, therapy, so being able to have some therapy as a couple within the relationship, and practicing forgiveness. That's been a really big one for me. And the fifth one is social media pressure, and that pressure to be perfect, which seems to be a sign of, I'm sad to say, of our times. It understandably increases anxiety levels, disrupting sleep patterns, not least because of staring at a blue screen till late, often. Increased feelings of inadequacy, and a sedentary lifestyle staring at a screen. So ways to help counter this is limiting that screen time, following positive accounts if we're going to be online, and disconnecting. That sounds like a good one to me. Regularly. So look, stress is going to be a part of our lives, but identifying and being aware of the potential sources and what we can be doing about those is a biggie. So lots of information there. What are your thoughts on this? Is it something that you've identified for yourself or for someone you love? And if it is, it would be wonderful if you would be open to sharing this video, because you never know, it could make all the difference. And I'll see you on this week's Alive with Feet. Ciao for now.